Obi-Wan Kenobi, the long-awaited next installment of the Star Wars saga, finally premieres on Disney Plus Hotstar next Friday, May 27th, and we had a chance to speak to its director, Deborah Chow.
Leave us alone.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father?
It's great to speak to you again. We chatted a couple of months ago in one of those long lead junkets. We've got 4 minutes, and I figured, given that none of us have seen any of the episodes yet, I will not bore you with the same questions you're going to be bombarded with for the next week. But could you tell me what your first encounter was with the franchise? How old were you, and what it was that made you fall in love?
I know everybody has one of those stories about when they're 7 years old, but I actually don't remember in any precise detail. I sort of feel like Star Wars has always been around. My dad and my brother were super into it, but I was a really big sort of fantasy and sci-fi person growing up. And I loved books, I loved comic books and all that. So I was really into genre, and, obviously Star Wars has always been kind of the mothership of all of that.
Yeah. So I've got a bunch of multiple choice quick fires for you. You can plead the fifth anytime you want, but it's either or. Luke or Han?
Han.
R2 or 3PO?
R2.
That was a very quick response. Okay, X-Wing or Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, I've had a lot of time to think about Star Wars, so yeah.
X-Wing or Millennium Falcon?
That's a hard one. X-Wing.
Empire or Jedi?
Oof.
The movies.
Oh, okay, the movies. Empire.
Oh. Tatooine or Coruscant?
Tatooine.
Mando or Boba Fett? The characters, not the shows.
Mandalorian, but obviously I have my own personal stake in Mandalorian, so.
Imperial March or Duel of the Fates?
Duel of the Fates.
Clone Troopers or Stormtroopers?
Ooh. Clone Troopers.
Okay, and this is the hardest one, and I figured the OG trilogy is untouchable, but prequels or sequels?
Oh, prequels, but I think that's also largely because of what I'm doing right now.
Great, fantastic. So yeah, that was my multiple choice thing. But before I let you go, I've got like a minute left. I'm curious as to what was, when we spoke the last time, you mentioned how you convinced the crew to come back and you spoke to Hayden. But for you, what was the hardest part about putting Obi-Wan together?
I think the biggest challenge, there were a couple challenges. One was COVID, just trying to do this entire production through COVID. And that's certainly something I think none of us had been through before. But I think really the biggest challenge was just the legacy aspect of it all. And the canon is that we are in between two trilogies. So obviously we are trying to be very respectful to the canon, but at the same time, do something original.
And Star Wars fans be crazy.
They are very passionate, yes.
Well, that's one way of putting it, but yeah. God knows they're going to pick every second apart. So, was that pressure? Oh, they're asking me to wrap, but very quickly, was that pressure on your mind at all?
I don't think you can escape it. Obviously you feel the weight and the responsibility of the canon, and also to do justice by these legacy characters. But I think for us, we just really tried to focus on kind of, telling a good story and doing what we thought was right. Because it's otherwise you kind of go into a territory where it's impossible to second guess everyone else.
Absolutely. Deborah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've run out of time already, but yeah. As you can see, I am physically and emotionally ready for Obi-Wan. I am so excited.
That's awesome.
You have no idea, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Obi-Wan Kenobi director Deborah Chow. You can catch the series when it premieres on Disney Plus Hotstar next Friday, May 27th. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Sound off in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. You know what to do.